Welcome to another Charles and Chat with Q. I know nobody watches this. This is for record keeping. I'm speaking to myself and two people on chat, but it's all good. It's I like to look back into the stuff sometimes. We gotta create a watch it from zero and talk about the markets. First, we're gonna take a look at the indices and we talk about the markets. We look at make a watch list and then take suggestions from chat. Right. Got a little bit of music in the background. I hope it's not too loud. No, it's not on the video. It's not on the video because then it gets taken down, right? Let's see. So we're just gonna go with features for now. We're gonna look at ES, SPY, SPX, whatever you wanna call it, and excuse the lines. I use it on my own trading. We can do a little bit of I guess new lines. I guess for us. Yeah, let's do that. Let's clear this levels this right here. We're just gonna do something real quick on the weekly so we know what we're dealing with. This is a new week. It poked a high, but it didn't go anywhere, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and get any peaks from the past that are above it and on our chart and below it, right? So something like this. There's two peaks. This one right here. Those are gonna be our main levels to watch. If this gets breached, then we're gonna look at the next peak. Whenever you have something like a wick like that, and then you have confluence with another wick down like this, then we're gonna be looking for that level as well right here. Okay. That's on the weekly. We're gonna go down to the daily. Okay. All right. And we're going to look at our latest fib perspective, right? This is the last push higher. This was a nice run from the daily 20. Now it's consolidating. So the question is if this is going to pull back into here and then go higher, or if it's going to just trade sideways, right? Like this. And then beat the 20 somewhere like right here, right? So let's get rid of that. So we're gonna take a look at the fib perspective in case we start dropping into these levels. We're gonna take the low of this move right here, and we're gonna take the high of this right here just to get our fib perspective. So if we end up dropping and we end up having to short the market, this will be targets. Notice that the 50% retracement aligns with this this level right here, this peak of this candle, and also the open of this candle. So this will be my main level. If we end up shorting this market, this will be my main target right here. If we end up dropping right here, I think the upside is limited. Now I'm not gonna rule it out, right? I don't think the market is that bearish. If anything, once we take a look at the NQ, we'll know what we're talking about. But it's mainly because there's a rotation going on, right? So tech is gonna pull further down while the S&P can hold, and then once this tech is done pulling back, and the market has cooled down, then we have the next leg higher, right? If it's gonna continue, it's upward momentum. All right, so this is my favorite level to take it to if we're gonna start dropping, right? A trigger for this trade will be I guess an hourly candle hold below this level right here, because this is a low. This is a current weekly low right now. This is the Monday low. We had the Tuesday low, did not breach this Monday low, so we're looking at a break and hold of this, or at least in the 1 hour will confirm some of that. And if you get a 15-minute or a 30-minute candle close below and hold this, it's you're gonna start assuming that this is gonna pull back, and I like this level right here. I would prefer this if it just has a small red candle like this and then another small red candle like this, and the Friday session right here. So the next week we just go boom, right? So that's the idea. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can just take my educated guess, right? Let's see, this weekly candle. This is Monday, Tuesday. So the weekly candle shows that we actually broke the prior weekly high. What is that? Don't we have? Oh, I'm sorry. This is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Okay, this is Monday. I'm sorry. The low was set on Tuesday. Monday the highs. So we'll see what happens next. That's the outlook. Um, yeah, and we see a rotation, right? You see a little bit of their performance on technology right here. 1.49% down on the day. Consumer discretionary 0.68% down. That's Amazon, that's Shopify, all the stuff. Uh, Semiconductors were down. Communications was down. Healthcare was down, and XLP was down. But notice this. Notice this red and this green. It means that it ended the day red, but it managed to recover to the during the day. So we'll take a look at that, right? Well, I mean, we can just see it like right here, real quick, right? So it opened below, managed to recover. So we should keep a watch on staples for the foreseeable future, right? Because of this move, right, that happened, right? It managed to recover some of it. How does it look on the 15-minute? Yeah, there was a open below, recover, and stay like this, right? So we'll see if there's some opportunities on staples once we make their new watch list. And the rest you can see is green, right? They open the day green and they close the day greener, right? Like this, materials, utilities, home builders, industrials, and oil. Oil, by the way, I mean, I've been missing out on oil. Look at that. We actually, from this open, we knew that oil had potential to the upside. I had no idea it was gonna go this much higher. I kind of ignore it. I have other stuff to trade. Okay, look at the recovery of the daily 22. We can see a nice run on oil stocks. If they manage to break those 32 retracements and whatnot, we can see something. This is XOM right here. Okay, so done with ES. We're gonna jump into NQ, which is QQQ. For it'll be the same. I haven't charted levels on this thing since forever because I don't really use it that much. I just use it intraday. Okay, so interesting. Now we're gonna use this peak right here. Actually, this one right here. There's somewhat of a fair value gap at this level right here. So dropping into this level is viable. Let's see. This level did not get breached. I will pay attention to that level. If we end up having more bearishness into tech, this will be a nice level to look for a possible bounce. But the fib retracements, which actually, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to anchor this because this perspective, it already met the 10% extension and it's coming down. So I don't know if I should keep using it. If anything, we should probably just enlarge this for this move right here. Move it a little upward, but yeah, I mean, it goes in line. If this drops to a 50% retracement, we can see a bounce of the daily 20, or dropping a little bit further into the 618 will be a fill of this kind of fair value gap right here, right? A fair value gap, is just it's a candle that broke out like this, and it left this candle did not test this prior candle high on the prior candle that made a breakout like this, right? So go looking into those levels for the downside, this right here and this right here, and the 50%. What is the 50% retracement? I always like to keep the 50% because I mean, if you miss this, 50% is basically a very good discount, right? A very good discount. So we're gonna mark this level right here. You can do so all this on the QQQ, same stuff. I do your futures. I don't know if you want the numbers. I'll post a video. It's basically you'll be able to see the numbers on the videos, and I'll post the screenshots of the levels. Now, if we end up going higher, let's see. I kind of doubt it, right? Because actually, I mean, the weekly perspective, you have to anchor your fips like this, all the way over here, and that will tell us a bigger drop than this on the weekly. We're seeing actually a lot of puts coming in for tech. But we don't know if that's gonna happen. This is something that you could assume off of this candle is it's gonna drop into a retracement, but instead it trades sideways, right, until it finishes being overextended, and then it makes its leg higher. So we'll see. We won't have it as in a settled stone that this is gonna drop. We do know that the let's see, the all-time highs to last year lows. This thing is kind of coming back from the 6-5 retracement, so that's very key. This is very key because this is the top, guys. We're looking for a big leg down to a major fib retracement, which will be a I mean something very large. You know, something from this low to this high to make into the 50% or the 618, and then possibly make a higher low, right? So we're looking at a big possible leg down from this high, right? Which is all this leg down. You gotta watch out whenever we're trading tech stocks, because if this is pulls back, tech is gonna suffer quite a bit, right? Yeah, your Apple made a new all-time high, and I mean that's perfect. You make a new all-time high and then you sell. That's a perfect story, right? We'll see. There's a lot of perspectives to take from it, and this is a way very large time frame perspective, you know, going from this point to this point and then this point to this point. You know, it's not gonna happen, and not even possibly until the end of the year. If that's gonna happen, probably until the end of the year, right? So we'll see. Like I said, so far I don't think the market is that bearish, but if it was gonna place that top and end like that, you know, perfect place, right? Let's actually draw it again. Right, like this, right? Little like this. Notice the monthly candle, the last monthly candle, poke into the 6-5 and close below the 618. This new monthly candle, I mean, it's only 7 days in. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And the weekly candle, let's look at the daily actually. The daily candle, you see it's kind of loosening it right here, right? It's kind of loosening it right here. So we'll keep an eye on that. That'll be a perfect top actually. You know, and I had some success picking the tops on whenever we had a major leg down, right? I remember specifically the drop up to this point right here. I was able to short the top of this drop, you know, because this was the current low of the market, and we ended up topping right here. I successfully shorted the market in this whole thing. Now I don't know if this is the same case, but it's looking very similar. It's looking very similar. Just you gotta extend. We're having new lows, right? So you keep your same all-time highs, and you can extend this thing right here. So let's watch out for tech. Let's not get too excited for tech upside. We gotta. I will whenever I trade tech on a place like this, I will be when 1 foot out. 1 foot out. All right. So there's that. That's your outlook for SPY and the QQQs. And I'm gonna get water. Hang on for 1 minute. I'll be back. All right, back. Okay. So next up, we're gonna look at the make a watch list. Let's make a watch list. We're gonna take a look at different scanners. I'm gonna use my Strat scanner, my higher than 30-day volume average scanner, and the impulse high. The stocks that are making new 52-week highs as well. On the S&P 500, the snap on, isn't it that? Wow! Look at this move, a $7 move on a snap on. Wow, this is a new 52-week high. I'm not sure if it's a new all-time highs. Yep, and new all-time highs on it. Wow. Uh, this is not stocks that we trade. They have low liquidity on options, so we're gonna skip it. But there's definitely stocks making new 52-week highs on the S&P 500. The opportunity lies, I think, on tradable stocks type like RCL, GE. Um, let's see. I don't think the other ones are very have very good are very good optional stocks, right? So so they are making new 52-week highs, and we should keep watch. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything. Actually, it looks like it's topping right here. RCL. This would have been nice if we had a candle, because this kept making 52-week highs. So we should have kept an eye when it was made at this candle. Now this candle is a topping candle, so I wouldn't look for more upside, right? Like Netflix made a new 52-week high, but it doesn't look that good. Doesn't look that good, honestly. So I don't think we can use this. Let's use the 30 volume average. Higher volume than 30 days. Let's see. Caterpillar. Wow, we actually missed a lot of hot dogs. There's a little strategy that we use, I guess. It's basically whenever you have a golfing candle, an inside candle, and another engulfing candle besides, it makes like a little shape of a hot dog, right? The buns, the hot dog, the winner right here. And then you have your breakout right here, and if you have it inverted, you have your breakdown. So we missed that, and we could potentially seek for more upside on this ones, but you have to look at it like you are on day two of a green streak, right? And usually I don't look more than 3 days, 2 or 3 days, and that's it, right? Because that's the nature of the market, right? 1, 2, 3, boom. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Sometimes it goes a little longer, but you know what I mean, right? 1, 2, 3, boom, stuff like that. So either it drops a lot or it reaches consolidation area. So we can seek for another third. We just gotta spot the areas that we're interested on, right? So there's a gap to fill right here. I would expect CAT to probably touch this and have a rejection, and if it makes a clean cut, I will be looking at a possible fill of the gap, so I could take it into this high right here. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this level right here, eliminate this. We're gonna bring this level. Nah, we're gonna bring this level right here. Okay, so whenever we're trading it, we know where we at, and we're just gonna place another name on it. Yellow, we're gonna place the name gap fill. Right. Boom. All right, so that will be our main view. If it's gonna have continuation, we're gonna look at the 15-minute to see where is a viable dip. So the 15-minute is gonna show us that this level right here is gonna be viable right here. This is a viable level. If it's there tomorrow, it doesn't have to, but if it's there tomorrow, this could be like, if it opens right here, there could be a good dip buy, buy from the open. If it opens right here, I will be careful. It's a good spot because it's a close, right? But I'll be careful because this could drop into this and then up, right? And if it drops even higher, if it opens even higher, watch out for if you got fast hands, if you got a good platform like TOS or anything like that. The way that I trade, I'm able, because this type of moves will happen on a blink of an eye. 5 minutes or 10 minutes of a run, quick, and then I'm able to get in and to get out, right? So I wouldn't seek more than this. I would be very happy if that happens, and we're just gonna keep a watch on that. What is this level 240 plus? So going for the option contracts at 240. I like yeah, I will be using like the 240 calls or the 240 calls have a 10-cent spread plus 10-cent spread, but the 242.5 calls have a 1 cent spread. So I will be using the 242.5 calls for it, right? So we're just gonna put on our watch list and we're watching Caterpillar. Oops. We use it Caterpillar 242.5 calls for possible play, okay? And you're supposed to write the reasons why you're doing the watch list and whatnot, but we're gonna watch that, right, for continuation. I think the same setup is for HD, right? HD. Now that you mention it, Jerry. Yeah, it was the same setup. So we had our hot dog. That's what we call it, right? Engulfing, inside engulfing, breakout. And we're going to see continuation, right? You know, it's already on day 2 of Green Streak. And I will be watching this level, which already crossed. We're going to go up further, higher. Look at this level right here. Because of this peak right here. And we're gonna move this level up to this peak right here. This low and this high are crossing, and yeah, we're gonna change this to red. Then we're gonna change this to yellow. This one to yellow as well. And wait, this one we're gonna name it gap fill. So I do not aim for gap fills like straight away, like, oh, it's just gonna get there straight away, right? Anything can happen on this market, but I could at least get to the beginning of the gap. You know, that could be a good day trade if we get a good day, good candle close above this high, and I could aim for this high. That's an increase of HD of 1.84%. So I don't see why not, right? Let's look at the 15 minutes to see if there's any possible entry. This, by the way, is not my type of, it's not my cup of tea, because to me the trade already happened or already started, and now definitely chasing some of that move, right? But I mean, we can still give it a try with limited risk, with fast execution and whatnot, right? So right off the bat, this highs right here are a possible entry. You know, if it did so to this highs and then goes higher, we see a holding the 50-minute 20 EMA. And then I'll be looking into this level as well, this level right here, you know, this little topping right here, base right here. So this could be my main dip buy. You know, if I see some kind of reaction into this level, which is 300 actually. That's funny. Whenever it's a round number, it tends to do that, right? Dip buy into the 300. Right here, right? So we're gonna keep a watch on that, and we're also gonna be looking at what contract is good for this day trade. So our main target becomes, what is this level? 307. So 307.5 calls are good. So they have 15 delta. That's not that good. You rather have something a little higher, like the 305s or 307.5s, either or. So we're gonna look at HD 305 calls. Or 307.5 calls. Okay? We're gonna take a look at that. Remember, you can throw your suggestions for the watch list. And if you have any more to suggest, that would be cool. Okay. Next up, let's see. Uh, let's use the strat. Oh, actually, we were using the scanner right here. Let me see. BIBB. Okay, no. Boeing. This one. This is a setup. This is a 2 down, 2 up strat reversal. That close above the prior candle highs. So if industrials are gonna keep going higher, this is one, right? This is definitely. I'm sorry, which is the okay. This definitely went below the 618 off of some news, right? But I am still gonna keep these levels so we can look for the extension right here. So this 10% extension matches this. So this could be my main target for it. Actually, this one right here, which is 215.78. If it's gonna have continuation, it's not gonna be a small candle. But let's say we do get up an average daily candle on Boeing, right? So an average daily candle will be something like this, right? That's what I can tell you from average, right? Look at that. That's on an average candle. So given that, let's see, if we do it, I'll end up opening right here. This could be a nice target, 215.76. I don't know if you have anything on your harmonics, Jerry. That'll be cool on Boeing. So Boeing is gonna be another on watch for continuation. And you know why I like it? Because this is day one of the push. So we can seek for day 2. I hate just to be on day 3. Day 3 is pushing it too much, guys. It's like, okay, I'm probably gonna stumble. It's gonna probably top out, and then start falling down. So we're gonna look for Boeing, and since our target is 216, we're gonna look at some Boeing calls. Let me see. Boeing calls, the 215. Okay, the 215 calls are they have a spread. I think it will tighten up in the once the market opens. It has a wide spread. It's like about $10. I mean 10 cents. That's pretty wide. But the 215 calls, you can definitely get them. If this plays out, you can definitely get them in the money. So that's what your main aim is whenever you're trading those from out of the money options. It has a 26 delta, so I think it's fine. So we're gonna put on the watch list Boeing 215 calls for possible day trade for tomorrow. All right. Okay. Next up, we're gonna see what else has what else is on the scanner. LG, AKA is saying anything that I see at the end. Okay. Nothing that I see interesting. It has to be a popular name because now I can already tell you that the options are not gonna be tradable for at least for a day trade perspective, right? For anything that is swing, it's different, right? So, well, look, we're seeing a recovery on ADM. So I was talking about staples earlier that they did, something bullish, which is open very red and climbing its way up the intraday. Even though it ended day red, it still move up intraday. It has a good positive change at the from intraday perspective. So I'm gonna take your suggestions. We're gonna check out cost because it's a staple, and that's what that's what happens. So cost is pulling back after this peak. I don't know if this is a peak, but I can tell you like this is the point of turnaround. I don't know if you're shorting it or if you're looking to long it. But I will probably wait to see some levels of favorite retracements. This is a possible low right here. This is 50% of the last push higher from this pullback. I would love a little better to have a 618 because below that, I'm already know that I'm on the wrong side, and I could just probably wait for the 20 EMA or see if it breaks down even lower, right? This is a possible jump on it. If XLP is gonna do what I think it's gonna do, cost should go up with it. So we'll see. Like I said, it's a good 50% retracement, which is also a prior peak consolidation from this area right here, right? This one right here, which is the 5, 10, 60 cents level. Okay, so that will be my my possible aim. You know, if it ends up making a hold of this level and bounce, I would probably look at it to break a new high for a 10% extension. You know, so there's something like this. You know, something like this, right? Which is 521. I'd rather look for anything that looks stronger already than trying to guess if this is the low. You know, I'm not. I don't think I get a good edge of trying to pick up lows because then whenever it starts drilling, you don't kind of want to believe it, right? Whenever you're in a breakout and it starts going against your direction, it's more like, okay, I already topped down. And the other way is kind of, you know, you get into a mental state that you're hoping for it to find a bottom so it can start going higher on your direction. So I'm looking for buying dips like that for now, but it's a good area for that. You know, this could be a good bounce right here. Being about the daily 20 was good enough, but it's a little extended from it, right? Whenever you're too far, I'm not that much interested on it. Whenever you're close to it, I become a little more interested because the risk reward, you know, from overextension to compression, you know, is there. But right now, that's what I got for cost. Wells Fargo from Peter Cottontail. Let's check out Wells Fargo. So we are seeing a breakout on financials, and actually we are seeing a lot of upside on IWM. There's a lot of rotation going on. Not only small caps, but remember that IWM, 20-something% of it is regional banks. And I know Wells Fargo is part of the more of like XLF than IWM, but if the financial sector it is gonna make a comeback, if it's gonna go higher, then this name should go higher. I like it. This is kind of a bad place. I mean, you have to hope for a third day because this is day one, day two of a push, based about the daily 20, little hot dog right here, you know, and you're looking to break this level and possibly go into this peak right here. I will actually put a level right here. Right here. So I don't want to put you too many levels, but that's just the reality of it. This is actually from past trades. So it is doing something that I like, which is a higher low based on the daily 20 and then a solid candle like this. Only problem is like pushing for day 3 breakout. It's a little pushing too much, right? So a cool little day trade, and I wouldn't swing it that past that, right? Just a little bit like that. I'll give you an example. Right now we lotto it on the VIP room Ford, and he played out very beautifully. And we actually got long on this red candle. It did not work for us. I think it was a break even just on this candle because we joined the lows, and it made a peak and then it just retraced back. But like we at this point we were pushing it for day 3, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3. It made its cool down, but now it's on day 1, day 2, and tomorrow the runners that we have, we're looking to get out of this position soon, because this is getting those kind of apex candles, right? Those reaching an apex and possibly coming down. So this is something that I teach, right? To not overstay or welcome for or pushes, right? And not because it cannot go higher, it's because we're trading weekly contracts. The pullbacks, we cannot hold through the pullbacks, you know, unless you're trading 3 months, 2 months out, you know, 2 months out or something, or 1 month out. Then I will still hold it through some pullbacks if my targets are way higher. But yeah, not for weeklies. We cannot keep weeklies like that, because this trade we were looking at the 13 calls when it was right here, so the target was super far, was here. So now we're looking at way higher targets now that the gap has been filled right here. So we're looking at a possible target up to here. So we'll see. Very good day trade. Um, so let's see. I'll keep a watch on cost for possible dip buy, and if that happens, we'll be trading. Let me see the option contracts. If the target is 221, we could be looking at the 20 deltas are good. So 517 and a half calls. So 517 and a half calls. You know, possible play. I'm not a fan of those right now, but it's a possible play, guys. Let's look at something else. I'm gonna go a little bit through the scanner a little more. Citibank. That's looking good. That's looking good right there. AA. Alcoa. Not so bueno. I think Alcoa is Staples. I don't even know what they do. I don't know what they do. Let's see what else comes up right here. Ally. Oh, this is interesting, guys. This is interesting. We have the hot dog right here. I'm gonna get tired of calling it the hot dog, but we do have it, and the breakout didn't go that long, right? So it's not, could possibly go higher. This bottom consolidation right here could be my main target. This is for the financials. So if financials are gonna keep going higher, this looks very reachable. You know, this looks very, very reachable right here. I don't think I traded this name before. I don't know how the options are. Let me see. 5 10-cent spreads. Very low liquidity. 29 and a half target. It's not the best. I will probably trade shares on this, guys. You're looking at if it ends up going from this point to this, you're looking at a 3.5% gain. I don't think it's bad. I think it's very good if you know how to trade shares, right? Because the sizing on shares is just different from sizing on options. You know, you gotta check where the trade is not gonna be longer valid, which is, it will be somewhere below this level, right? So your risk is a little great right here, like about the same, 3.5, 3.7% or so. Downside to 3.5. Yeah, 3.5% to the upside. So as asymmetrical risk, is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. So it's not too bad of a trade, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it on options. I don't know if the OPEX options have a little better. No, they don't. They don't have a better spread. So yeah, it's a beautiful chart. I think it could go higher. Very, very easy target, I will say. Very clear what it's doing, but yeah, you get my gist. The options are not playable. Let's see what else. I think Andy posted something. Let me check. No, it's because there's some financials that have very high over short interest right now. This is not one of them, but yeah, let's keep a watch on that anyway. You know, some financials got oversold. So I'm gonna leave this scanner alone now, and this one right here, I'm gonna just do a couple of more suggestions what you guys got for me, and then if not, we're gonna look just quickly at the strat scanner, and if there's nothing good, we'll call it a day. But yeah, looking for any type of suggestions that you have. Coco race short idea. What is Coco? The Beta Coco, is that a drink? I think, yeah, the cocoa water, right? I think I had them before. So this is a 52-week high. Okay, so on the weekly perspective, this is extended, right? This, you can see on the weekly that it at least did it at least good, makes those pullbacks into the daily 20, and this thing is a little bit extended from it. Like I wouldn't touch this for the upside, and for the short side is doable because of the overextension, in my opinion. I don't know if its path is gonna go higher. This is all-time highs actually. This is a monthly, and the monthly goes back to the beginning. It's from its IPO. This is very high right here, and like I said, their daily 20s serves as perspective. There's a lot of bounce of the daily 20 right here, base, base, base. So there's a little bit of room into that, but the deeper, better pullbacks to buy is into the weekly 20, which is almost like the daily 50 or so, but the same, right? If this pullback that it had right here, because I don't know, this looks like it was some kind of news candle, because this is no earnings. Earnings are right here. There's a gap right here that ended up going higher. It's share offering. Okay. So it was a share offering. And if this move is going to have any pullback into a retracement, let's look at this retracement into the 618 or which is end up being this daily 50. Let's see if it goes with the weekly 20. It could be like if this ends up pulling back into here, I could see the meeting the overextension right here, not being extended anymore for the next. If it's gonna have a path higher, right, it will be something like this. There's no topping sign, to say the least, on this name. This high that I made, this pullback is not a topping sign. For me, whenever I mean, it's hard. Getting tops is pretty hard. But they say that a lot of the topping signs, just like a bottoming sign, is basically making a peak and then making a lower high, and then the next candle you see that a lower high is not going higher. It made an attempt to go higher, like something that goes down and then goes up into the same area right here, and then that's where its mark is lower high. Boom, that's a shortable, very topping sign, right? So the moment it's not showing that, but at least for a retracement, there is possible. It's possible this breakout did not get tested right here. This level's right here, so there's a little bit of downside to make right here. So there's that. That's with Coco, and let's look at race. Isn't it that Lamborghinis? Oh, Ferrari. I forgot that. Okay. Let's see. The candles have a lot of gaps. This is expensive stock. Let's see. There's a little gap right here. I don't think this thing fills gaps. When something is very gappy and it's just, I get out of the idea of filling gaps on that stock, right? Because it's just not viable. Let's look at the weekly real quick. It's definitely on an uptrend right now. Did this get tested? This break out of it. Try to come down to it. There was a little base right here. Okay. Who's this in the monthly? Yeah, this is. I guess on the monthly you can tell that this has not pulled back into this high right here. On the daily, yeah, this is a shortable. I think this is kind of like what I was talking about, where you make this peak right here, and then your next attempt to go higher ends up being a lower high, right? This is kind of what we're looking for a topping sign. Something. I guess I don't use shapes and forms, guys. I don't use those shapes and forms. But if you want to put in that perspective, it's basically a head and shoulders, right? You have your shoulder right here, your head, and your right shoulder, and for that you need to have a neckline. The neckline is, that's because I don't trade like that, right? But basically somewhere like this, I'm not sure. I don't trade shapes and forms, but I can tell you it's a lower high already. A lower high, I don't know if this is coming in to meet a overextension or just a little gap fill, which I actually do not consider gap fills on this name. Just whenever you see like a lot of gaps, like it doesn't matter, right? And what else? I mean, if this ends up being a lower high, you're looking at a weekly retracement. You know, weekly retracement. This actually looks like it bounced at the 618. Yeah, this is a bullish setup. 618 bounce into 10% extension, but you know, something about fibs and their and where are located the bounces. The lower you go, basically like 618, the harder it is to break a new high, because the strength or the amount of buying power that it needs to go from year to year is less, from year to year is higher, and then from year to year is the it needs a lot, right? So a lot of bounces of a 618 end up failing because the yeah, to make a new high, because it just needs a lot more power, right? It may get a pullback in between or something like that. So that's the only shortable signs that there's a lower high right here. But the bullish sign is that look at where it's bouncing off, right? It's no surprise that it's trying to hold this 618 from the last push higher like this. So if this last leg up, which is a lower high, has an attempt to even go to make a new high, I will, since it's already pulling back, I will probably look for it to, if you're looking for dip buys, but look for like the 50% retracement, which is also a daily 20, and then take it higher. If you're short, you really, really want a daily candle close below this to confirm your bias, right? Because it's just telling you that the pullbacks are too deep from this and coming in from a lower high to actually make a meaningful bounce, and then it's gonna start slipping down, right? So like I said, one of the rules is like if you're closing below the 618, 6.5, the odds are very high. It does not have to do it, but the odds are very high that it's gonna meet the equal low right here. It's just one of those things. Francifera, I don't know how to say your name. We're gonna check out Hood. Okay, we're gonna check out Hood. This had a 2 down, 2 up reversal right here on daily. It already played out, it already broke out. Let's see this favorite retracement from here to here. Let's delete the other one actually. So he had an attempt of 618 rejection. It's no. This leg down had a rejection at the 50, rejection at the 618, but it's getting buyers at the dip, right? And it's actually closing a little bit above the 618, I mean the 65, but it's trading above it. So I think you could have continuation. Those are good signs to continuation to the upside. Basically, and also because this leg higher into this pullback right here it got met with buying demand. For this demand, I wouldn't exactly say the 618 because it went lower, but you can see that this little base rejection that I have right here, it found buyers again right here. So I think it could go higher. Let's see this actually, this move right here. If you look at the fibs on this, the 10%, the 50% extension kind of meets this candle right here. So I will probably target this, on a day trade. See if Hood could make this on a session or two, into the 985s. I think 985s. And other than that, that's my day trade perspective. That's why I look at candles on a day trade perspective, because the weekly, I mean, you're still trading on the weekly on this range right here. So there's really not like it's bottoming, so it can go back to the 20s or more, right? No, it's really to me, I mean, it's still in a range. You won't know it's already in a breakout until it actually comes out of the range and has a nice weekly candle way above in the 14s or so, right? But I mean, it's doing higher lows, equal lows, a little lower low than this, but it's a high low from here, high low from here. So it's holding these levels. Those are good signs. I wouldn't put a lot of effort into it. It feels like this type of trading range for too many weeks, it feels like it needs a big catalyst, some good earnings, a good catalyst to break out of some consolidation right here, right? We'll see. I mean, if it's accumulating right here, I mean, this is a little bit, looking at the left right here, I think it's a little bit misleading. There was a lot of mania a lot of insider sales and whatnot. So it's a little bit misleading that it's gonna reach those levels again, which I wouldn't aim for it. It's a little bit too much. But as the last suggestion, guys, and I still got some stocks to do homework on, but I will stop it right here because I got some stuff to do, and I'm meeting the hour right here. I think I'm meeting the hour, so I'm gonna end this session right here, and let's see if we can find something tomorrow morning. Right, tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is when I adjust the stuff that I'm gonna touch on the day. Right. So I hope you all have a good rest of your night, and I hope we got something out of this to use for tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, and hasta la próxima.